Hey, Diane DeWald with creativecatcrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. And the last time we were together, we made this gift tag, and I mentioned it was going to go onto an interactive an interactive gift card holder, and it hails back to my interactive scrapbooking days. So I haven't put any embellishments on it. This is not going in the mail because this is just way too thick. But I'm shipping all of my uh, gifts out to family I have out on the East Coast. And I decided I wanted this to look like a sweater all wrapped up. So you have one flip, and then I use this, and I'll show you all the supplies that I used here in a moment. We're not going to actually make this background paper on camera because it took me a long time. And then you have this gatefold, and then you put your gift card right in there and fold it all up. Now, one of the things I haven't decided to do, I think I'm going to put a white panel down here and just write a message to each one of the recipients. And then I did not put anything in here because honestly, this is super, super thick. And then this is an A2 size, but I am putting it into an A6 size envelope because this is so thick. And then so here's the envelope I'm going to use, and I'll just slide that on the inside, and I'll put this on the outside like that. And I might dress up the outside just a little bit because this white, you kind of lose the white tag on the envelope. I haven't decided yet, but I got to get these all done up and in the post office hands. And this was a very aggressive undertaking because these sweater panels I've made, how many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're making the 12th one. I needed a dozen of them. I think the sweater panel, I had to make like 50 of them, and I sat in front of the TV one night at the kitchen table and just made sweater panels and then had to cut them all out. So let's get into putting this together. Like I said, we are not going to cut, stamp. All of the panels are done. This is here's how you put it together type of video. And I'm going to bring you in a little closer, but not too close, because I want you to be able to see this. And I'm sorry. My finger slipped on the mouse button. I will have a link to this down below. Move that over so that you don't have that glare. But this is 4 pages of dimensions where you score, how you cut, and then the back page is all the different panels and their dimensions. And this does not work because I haven't recorded this video. I usually cross that out in case anybody tries to scan that through the YouTube video. It does not work. And then my shopping link. So let's go ahead, and before we cut anything out, I'm going to walk you through all the things I used. And we'll start with ink colors. So I used cherry red for, where is it? For the sentiment. And I will get to that sentiment in a minute. And then Sandy Beach for the sweater. And then for the inside, a gift for you, I used my Memento Tuxedo Black. So those are the only inks I used. Everything else is cardstock color. So I'm going to put this aside because we'll get back to that here in just a moment. So all of these are Gina K Designs items. This is her close-knit background stamp, and I just love the sweater look. I just love it. And then for the sentiment, I used the holiday silhouettes. This big Merry Christmas, as you can see, it's stained with the red, cherry red, really stains photopolymer stamps. But I'm okay with that. It doesn't affect the performance of the stamp, so feel free. Excuse me, sorry, had the hiccups. And then this little sentiment here, a gift for you. And I love this is seasonal patterns and phrases. Love the splatter stamp. You can see I use this a lot for the interior of all my Christmas cards this year. I believe I used the Merry Christmas, the Happy Hanukkah. Oh, I don't know what else I used in this. I used this background stamp. This is a really cool background stamp. And then all the master layout dies. So master layout 1, all of these large panels, I use these 2 large rectangles, and I'll have all the dimensions on that information sheet. And then on the flip side of this, master layout 2, I used the stitched panel. This is the only thing I used for master layouts 2. Then for master layouts 4, I used the scallop because I wanted something fun on the inside. Nope, didn't use 3. And then from 8, this circle. So it's not the stitched, it's the plain circle and the scallop circle. I used that for the front sentiment. Then on the inside, I used this die for the background, and then I can't remember exactly which one of these I used for the sentiment strip. So those are all the dies I used. Now there is some manual cutting. So this panel here, one slightly larger than the other, and that was just a functionality of the where I had to put the folds and the size of this. So this we're going to actually have to cut down, and that's easy to do. So I'm going to pause you and get all set up here. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is I have 80-pound Neenah Classic Solar White cardstock. I have two of these. It takes 1.5. And we're going to do these 2 panels from one, and then this one from the other. So let's go ahead and cut this one down at 5.5, and we'll score this one here in a minute. So that'll be the base layer. And then the second layer, we need to cut off 1/4 inch because this was an 8.5 by 11. This is 8.5, so I need to cut this down 1/4 inch because I need 8 1/4, and then 5 3/8. So we're going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of this. That's panel 2. And then this, we need 10 3/4 on the long. So this is 11 inches. And it's easier because this is early in the morning and my brain is not. So my brain is not working, as you can see. So I need 10 3/4. So I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off of one side. And then 4 inches is what I need. So line that up here at 4 inches. Make sure I got that at 4 inches. 4 inches. Okay. And this I'm just going to put in my scrap pile. So we are done with the trimmer at the moment. There is one panel, like I said, on the inside that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and get these items scored. Let's do our first. Our first is scored at 4 1/4. So at 4 1/4, I'm going to go ahead and score that. Then our second layer, it's scored at 4 1/8. And I have to really pay attention because I have this all set up for my interactive scrapbooking days, and these were my usual scoring. So 4 1/8. And then the last piece, we're going to score at 2 5/8. And again at 8 inches. One of these side panels is larger than the other, and it's going to be the one on the other side of the 8, because that one is scored at 2 3/4 if you flip your cardstock around. So we're done with the scoreboard. So let me put that away just to get tools done and out of the way. So let me grab my Teflon folder and score. Let's see, we're going to burnish these down. The mountain on the inside, and I'm just going to burnish these. See how that nicely folds. And then here's our inner panel. And then our base layer. Okay, so I need to just remember, did I do this with glue? I believe I did this with tape runners, and I'm going to run out. So I'm going to pause you and I'm going to go get a refill, because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to need this and I'm not going to have it available. So this is our base. Let me just confirm. Yep, our base. So we're going to have that open, and we want to make sure that it opens like that. So let me flip this over, and I am putting this almost to the edge. Because I really, really want the edges stuck down very well. And then, see, I told you. And for the longest time, I had no idea how to open these. There's a little tab there. You push up and it hinges. For the longest time, I didn't know that. And I was completely taking this thing apart because it's what I have done with tape runners like this in the past. And the new one just drops right in and it closes. And it starts running immediately. Okay, so we need to make sure our fold is that direction. And just kind of try to center it. The tape runner, until you do this, you can peel it off pretty easily if you just kind of set it down. So there's our first interactive. So it's going to flip up and flip down. Now we've got this, and you decide which side you want to be larger. I just did L, left for larger. So that way I had all of my panels set out, and I was able to put these together in kind of a assembly line type of thing. So same thing, I'm going to flip over and I'm going to run this along the edge because I really, really want it to be burnished down and very secure. And I'm just getting a bunch in the center and lefty large. And I'm going to try to not get my head in the way. I want this as centered as possible. Perfect. And then really just burnish this down. So when you close it up, that's our gift card holder. And you can round the corners here if you want. That was just an additional step that was going to be a problem for me. So on this page, I had some ink. Had some ink smear there. So this is a picture. Let me get you in a little closer so you can kind of see that. Where is it? There we are. There's my tool. So here you can see the representation of our gift card holder. So you have your base layer on the bottom, you have your second layer here where it's flipping down, and then your inner layer where you have your gatefold. And I tell you how to assemble this after you've cut it all out. And on the back side of this, page 4, and in fact, I make a note, put page numbers, Diane. So for each panel of the card, I did a matte and pattern paper. So what I'm saying is for each one of the layers, you have a matte, which is the black, and then you have a pattern paper. Now this black cardstock, this is from Cut Cardstock. It's their, hang on, I'm going to say it wrong. It is the Pop Tone Black Licorice, and I knew I wanted some lighter weight black cardstock, so I went 65 pound. Normally the black onyx I believe is 100 pound for the Gina K Designs black cardstock. I knew this was going to be multi-layer, so I definitely wanted it a lighter weight. And yes, I bought 1,000 of them. What I do is I order from Cut Cardstock and I have them pre-cut the panels down to A2 size. And the beauty, so this is their A2 size. It's just regular A2 size. But when I order cardstock from them, I order the 8.5 by 11 sheet, and for $3, it's only $3. They'll cut it for you. They will custom cut it for you. I think that for $3, it's worth it. It's worth me not having to cut them all the time. So that's the black cardstock I used. All the Ivory, I used I used Gina K Designs Ivory. And I can't remember if this is layering weight. This might be heavyweight. I can't remember. Let me see if I can determine. No, this is a layering weight. I believe this is the Ivory layering weight. But this is the regular A2 size panel. And like I said, I made 50 to 60 of these panels one night. So let's go ahead and start assembling this. And I have all of the different pieces and parts. So I did this using 18 and 19 master layouts. This was master layout 8, and I can't remember the stamp set that came from. holiday silhouettes. And this was from the seasonal patterns and phrases. This is the piece that's going to go on the inside. So master layout 2, master layout 4. And these were all my master layout 1 matte and what do I call them? Focal layers. And then I have one piece that we're going to have to cut down for the inside. So let's pull you out a little bit more. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to put these panels together. And I think I did glue on these. So let me get my little glue bottle out. And we'll put all these panels together. Oh, and I just refilled this. So glue is coming out really easily. And I like the glue because I can move that panel around just a little bit. There we go. And I could have done all of this part beforehand, but I wanted you to see the process. And on this close knit, when you're assembling this card, pay attention to the direction of your sweater pattern. It is important, at least it was important to me. If you don't care, just glue away. And it really won't matter until we're affixing it to the actual gift card holder. So this, yeah, I'm almost done. Got 3 more to do. It's like walking and chewing gum at the same time, gluing and talking at the same time. I need to work on that. So all the Christmas cards that you've been around on my channel, all the Christmas cards I've done over, I started, I think, mid-August, I started making Christmas cards. And I really thought it was kind of early. And I thought, I'll take a break. Oh no, it took me the whole time. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this panel together because it's just going to make it easier. I did it the other way. I put the black down and then I tried to put this in the middle. And it is not quite square. So you'll see less of the sides and more of the top and bottom. That I was okay with that. Yep, that's down. Okay, so I'm going to line these up one direction. See how the pattern, it looks different. So your little V's of the knitting, I want it all pointed down because that's when you put a sweater on, that's what it looks like. So we'll do top one first. So when I'm looking at it and holding it, I want my V's pointing down. And just like this. And I'm going to use my big block here for a second, just to give even pressure across that. And then we're going to flip this thing over. Let me put this away before I stick something on it. We're just going to flip it over. And I want the same thing. I want the V's pointing down. Get that centered. And my black cardstock is shedding. There. And then when we flip this up, I want these panels to be flipped just like this. So the V's are pointing down, because when the person's opening it, they're going to be holding in their hands just like this. So let's get that centered and just like that. I know this is a longer video and it's no fun. Oh, don't open it yet. I got to get this one down. And V's pointing down. And while we're here, before I put that block on, this is where I'm going to put that sentiment. Get that. I'm lining it up with a sweater run, and there. Just like that. And then when I pull this open, I want this very seamless, and I want the V's pointing down. Now we're not going to do those gate folds yet. We're going to put this on the inside. Then we'll come back and do the gate fold. There we go. I have lots of notifications on my phone. We've had, oh, Sheena, hang on one second. She's where she's not supposed to be. Yeah, she was crawling around where she was not supposed to be. So this one, let's glue up, and then we'll make sure we've got the sweater pattern going the right direction. So V's pointing down, and try to get this in the middle. Press that down, and you see how, let me move you in a little close so you can see the patterns. So it's one continuous sweater pattern all the way down. And then we're going to do these two gate folds before we put our sentiment on. So I need to get the trimmer. Let me move. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to put that block on it up here just to give some pressure to that. And grab my trimmer. And so manually cut. Make sure to cut so the pattern is seamless on the gatefold panels in the inside. So I'm going to the pattern paper, we need to cut it 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut this to 3 3/4. Put that in my scrap. Then for the larger gatefold, actually we're going to do the smaller because the smaller is on the right. It's 2.5 wide. And I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off the side because the pattern of where I had that stamp positioned, there was a funny little edge. So I need this at 2.5. So both of these are 2.5. Otherwise we were going to get into, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was so far off. So 2.5 and 2.5. And it really doesn't matter for this. If I was going to cut it to size, we were going to get into like 64ths on the ruler, and we were not going to go there. So our 65-pound panel, Now, if you don't have 65 pound cardstock, my recommendation, because of the bulk of this, is to do your sweater pattern and then get a warmer brown and just kind of grunge up the edges on this. That way it gives you the illusion of some depth, rather than doing the matting, because there is a lot of bulk to this. So the mat, this black piece of cardstock, so 3 7/8. We're going to cut that 3 7/8, put this in my scrap pile, and 2 5/8 for the smaller panel. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. And then 2 7/16. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/16. So just shy of 2.5. Just shy of 2.5. 7/16. Why is this? This isn't right. 2 5/8. Or is it right? No, that's not right. Hang on one second. I have to figure this out. So I got the ruler out and measured both of these. And even though one side's larger than the other, these two panels are exactly the same. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote the instructions up. So both of the black panels here are 2 5/8. So there's 4 and there's 2 5/8 right there. Like I said, I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, let's pull these in and get these glued together. Get my little glue bottle in closer. So it doesn't matter which side we cut first. They're both the same. I just need to get that, yep, that's straight. I did have a lot of fun designing these. It makes me want to get back into my interactive scrapbooking days. And that's straight. Okay, so let's put these on our gift card holder on the inside. And I had a little bit of dust on the side there. Oop, that's a big glob. And watch your pattern, because again, you want your pattern lining up directional, so V's pointing down. Or if you started with V's pointing up, just go in the same direction. And if you don't care, that's fine. My OCD was like, no. And you know what? That panel's just a little bit too big. It is. Well, gently pull this off. This is what I like about glue. This panel's just a bit too big. So guess what? We have to shave off. And I think that's already down. It is. Oh, I have to make another panel. I'll be right back. So I'm going to leave this in the video, and I didn't make a new panel. So what I did, and there's a little bit of cardstock that I pulled up, but that's okay. If you do not have this undo remover, I highly recommend it. It is an adhesive, so kind of like, what is that, Goo Be Gone, Goof Off, which are highly smelly. I don't smell this on here. So what I did is this panel was glued together. I just took this and doused the whole panel. And what it did is it dissolved the glue. It did not affect the dye ink at all. Now for pigmenting inks, I can't tell you if it's going to affect it or not. But I had my dimensions wrong and this glued down. So I'm going to have to, I'll cut a new black panel, but I don't have to cut a new sweater panel. So let me grab my, I'm laughing at myself because I cut all of these out, did all my other, and then other gift card holders, I assembled them all. I had it all cut out, but I didn't write the dimensions down. And when I went to do my instruction sheet, I had to do it from memory. So the matte panel, it needs to be 3 7/8 tall. So let's do 3 7/8. And for the smaller, okay, had to pause and just double check again because I had some numbers transposed. So 3 7/8 tall, and for the smaller panel, it's 2 7/16. So that's 8. So it's just shy of 2.5. So I'm leaving this in the video so that you can see, yes, I make mistakes too. And this one, sorry, there's a piece that's poking up where I didn't quite dissolve all the glue. So this needs to be 3 3/4 and 2 5/16. So there's 7 5/16. And that should work. Okay, cross your fingers because I'm saying a few prayers and crossing my fingers here. That'll work. And I'm not going to stick it down because this still has glue on it. But yep, that will work. Oh, whew. Thanks for your patience while I show you my goober. That's the danger of making these and not writing it down as you go along. Because when I was cutting these out, I was doing a assembly line and I cut them all at the same time, but I didn't write anything down. I'm like, oh, goober, that's so silly. There, that looks much better. It's going to open. I knew they were different sizes. I don't know what I was thinking when I was making this. So I still need the glue. So there you go. It opens perfectly. It folds up. Like I said, I think I'm going to do a white panel down here with just a little personal note to each one of the recipients. And I left this block on mine on the whole stack overnight just to give it a little extra. And then we're going to put this Merry Christmas on here. And I haven't decided if I'm putting embellishments on the front. Because, you know, a sweater, do you really have embellishments? And I could have done like a belly band, or I have a ton of magnets and little steel plates that I could have gotten it to stay down, which is why I left the block on it overnight. And we'll get this straight here. It's kind of a crooked Merry Christmas, but that's okay. I really like this one a lot. So get that down. And while this one flattens out, we're going to take a look at this again. So you flip up. I move you out just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I just love this. You flip down, you flip open, And I just noticed that this is different. That might have been my prototype. Yep, there you go. That was my prototype. It's different than the rest. So thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I will have the corrected version of this down below with all my little chicken scratch, and then I'll have the actual link to the video in the QR code. And thanks again for coming along on this journey. This, I believe, is my last Christmas item, and this is December, what is this? December 5th? 5th. And this will be my last regularly scheduled video for the month of December because I am participating in Gina K's 12 Days of Christmas, not officially, unofficially, and I am going to start recording my daily videos. I think I have said in the previous videos, I am a team. I opened the box. I found Zeus. I'm not going to tell you where Zeus is at, although Gina K said last night she and Tom are on it. So now I got to go look at the box and find them. But I will have, oh, hello, Sheena. I know you want your breakfast. I'll come down. She's reminding me she's hungry. And I will have video every day utilizing whatever that day's reveal is. There are some that I will just show you what it is and tell you I don't know how to use it, so I will do a video later because there's some things that I have no idea how to use. So I will be like the rest of you out there in YouTube land, waiting for Gina to show us how to use the item. So again, thanks for joining me. Links below for all the products I used, as well as my handy dandy here's how to put it together sheet. And if you would like the click that like button down below. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, if you would click that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you are notified the next time I upload a video. And until next time, happy stamping and have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I will see you in my regular spots after the new year.